moving on. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do a sort of winter to spring look because I'm just over the weather here in Canada. It is ridiculous. It rains one day, it like snows the next day, you wear your bathing suits the day after that, like you don't know what to do. And side note, really bad for your skin. We have skin issues. So my boyfriend and I were walking through a Shoppers or Walmart or something like that, and of course I have to go check out the makeup department, of course. And I passed through the L'Oreal section, and they had just come out with these new they're liquid eyeliner. They're called Infallible Paints, and they look like this. They've got 3 or 4 different kind of cool colors. What I thought was really awesome about it is I got them home, and the applicator on these is super long. If you take a look, it's pretty long. Like honestly, they're about like that's pretty long for an eyeliner applicator. And I thought, there's no way this is gonna work. So I tried it. I did a wing liner. You'll see in the following video. You'll see. But I do a wing liner in like one shot. It made it absolutely the easiest thing ever, and I was really impressed. I was really impressed. Plus the colors are kind of cool and different and fun, so I wanted to try it out. So this is the look for today. So if you guys like it and you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. Also, I really love to hear feedback, so if you guys want to see anything, give the video a big thumbs up, and please subscribe. So today I'm using all BH Cosmetics brushes. I find they're actually very good brushes. I use them every day. So we're going to begin with using the Morphe palette, the 35OM palette. I'm just taking one of the lighter brown shades. I'm going to use it as a transitional color. It's just to set a base for the more intense color that we're going to go in with afterwards. And as you can see, I'm keeping it in the crease using back and forth windshield wiper motions. I'm also being very light of hand. So I'm using my brush, I'm holding my brush, very far away from the actual tip. So you're not applying a lot of pressure, you're just sort of lightly patting. So now we're going to go in with a little bit darker brown shade just to intense the corners a little bit. I am using one of the darker brown shades from the 35OM palette that I previously used. And as you can see, I'm sticking to that inner corner. I just want to darken it a little bit so it has some substance when we put on the beautiful teal MAC shade that we're going to put on next. Don't go too far up towards the brow bone here, just stay within that crease because it is a little bit of a darker shade. So now we're taking just a little bit darker brown again from that Morphe palette. This is all about building the colors lightest to darkest and then stay within a certain area. So I'm staying within my outer corners, as you can tell. So next we're going to go in with a very precise crease brush, and we're going to use this beautiful color by MAC. It's called Jewel Blue. I have repurchased this 3 or 4 times. It is a gorgeous teal color. I love the way MAC products go on. I mean, they're just so pigmented. They're just so beautiful. So what I'm doing is taking this color and sticking just to my outer corner and the crease. I'm not going above the crease at all. I'm staying very defined in that inner corner. So we're going to do the same thing on the other eye with that MAC color again. We're going to stick to the outer corner and not above the crease. You really want the shadow to be pigmented here. The color is what's going to stand out in this look. So it needs to be pressed on and not really, for lack of a better word, fiddled with. You want to really pack it on and just leave it there. There's not a lot of blending involved with this color because it'll end up looking like a big hot mess, and we don't want that. That's not pretty at all. So now you see me going in again and just really intensifying that blue. It really didn't show up enough for me. It really is preference, guys. I mean, take a look at it. See what you like, what you don't like. I know I told you not to blend, but here I'm going back in again and blending slightly. I just wanted to smoke out the outer corners of my eyes a little bit. That brown wasn't peeking out enough for me, so I wanted to bring it up higher to my brow bone, as you can see there. So apparently I am a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm going in again and just darkening that teal color. I mean, it's all preference. Whatever you're comfortable with is what you should do for sure. So now we're going in with the star of the show that I talked about in the intro, the Infallible Paints Liquid Eyeliner by L'Oreal in this beautiful teal color. It was really the easiest application I have ever done in regards to liquid eyeliner. As I mentioned in the intro, the applicator is very long, and at first, it was a little intimidating, like, what am I supposed to do with this? But it actually made it a lot easier for me to draw the perfect wing line. Something else I noticed too, the more pressure you put on, the thicker the line. The lighter of hand you are, the thinner the line. So if you wanted to do something like tight lining, you can use this pen. It would work really well. Just don't push as hard, otherwise you'll end up with a big mess. I'm also doing the inner corners of my eyes as well. I want my eyes to look a little bit more almond shaped. So when you do the same color from the inner corner to the outer corner, thickening the line as you go, it actually gives the illusion that your eyes are almond shaped. So now we're going in with some foundation. These are the three main products I use almost daily. The first being MAC Prep and Prime. I spray that, or MAC Fix Plus, I should say. I spray that all over my face before I even put my foundation on. So now I'm taking a little bit of that Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. I put it usually on the back of my hand. The brush I like to use is an e.l.f. brush. It is a buffing brush, they call it. It kind of reminds me of a flat tip kabuki brush, which works really well, but I find it's easier to control how much product you're putting on your face. This foundation goes on about a medium coverage, but I find it stays all day. It really is one of the best drugstore foundations I have found. I use it on a day-to-day basis. So what you want to do is buff it out in circular motions, back and forth, applying a little bit more in areas where you feel like you need it more. So you can see me adding a little bit more product on my forehead as I need it. Again, with this foundation though, a little bit actually does go a fairly long way. So after you're finished buffing out your foundation, always go in with concealer underneath your eyes. I am using the Maybelline Master Conceal by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer, it's called. This is in the shade 20 Light. Always go underneath your eyes pretty generously. I like to do it. I have lots of bags. Haha. I do a little bit on the end of my nose and some on my forehead, my chin as well. So I have found the best way to blend out concealer is with a beauty blender. I got this one at Sephora. It's super old. I'm sorry. And you just want to make sure it's damp before you use it. Go over the areas of where you put concealer, blending outwards, almost down towards the top of the apples of your cheeks. It just kind of evens out the foundation you've already done, and it really brightens up the eyes. Do not use the beauty blender when it is dry because you will remove any of the product that you added to your face, and then you're right back where you started, which is totally not helpful. So I'm taking a flat definer brush and I'm going to take some of that beautiful teal color by MAC and do the underneath of my eye. I just find it makes my eyes pop. And I am sticking to just my outer corner here. Again, you almost want to match how far you went on the top of your lid, underneath your lid as well. So everything looks consistent, clean, and polished. So next up is brows. I'm going to go through this really quickly because I find doing eyebrows boring and I'm not sure if anybody really wants to see that, but moving on. So I usually brush my brows out and then I fill in with a pencil. I am using the London Rimmel pencil in the shade Hazel here. Honestly, best brow advice I can give, whether you get them threaded or whether you get them waxed, totally up to you, but be diligent with it. Go once a month like you're supposed to. Don't try and do it yourself. I mean, they are professionals. They really know what they're doing and they know what's going to look best for your eye shape. And I think that's what makes the look. And after all, it frames your eye look. It frames the effort you just put into your eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm done my rant. Moving on to mascara. I am using L'Oreal Luminous in the shade Blackest Black. It's a very common one. You can get it at the drugstore. I will list all the products that I use down below, by the way. So I'm just doing a couple coats on the top lashes on both eyes, as well as the bottom lashes as well. I think it's really important to do your bottom lashes because it definitely makes your eyes stand out a little bit more. So now that the eyes are done, we're going to move on to the face. I am using a Body Shop blush. It is the all-in-one powder blush. I really love Body Shop makeup. It actually is really underrated and not a lot of people talk about it. It is all natural and chemical free. So last but not least, we're going to do some lips. This is one of my favorite products. It's new by MAC Liquid Matte Lipstick. This lipstick goes on wet, yet it dries completely matte. And I am telling you, this stuff is rock solid. It stays all day and the colors are just unbelievable. There was about 8 or 9 shades I noticed, and they are just gorgeous shades. I mean, if you're familiar with MAC, you know they do everything just unbelievably well. I am a big fan, and side note, they are a Canadian company, which makes me super happy. So that is the completed look, guys. Once again, I'll leave all the info in the description box down below. If you guys want to see anything, please let me know. And as always, subscribe.